Hello everybody, this is Lavon, Cason here, back at it again with another video reaction. I haven't done a video reaction in a long time. So today's video that I'm going to be reacting to is Austin Evans. His title of the video is called Let's Talk About the New PS5. This is basically probably him responding to everything that he has gotten, the comments, the feedback, and the dislikes of this video right here, which is called The New PS5 is Worse. So let's get started. Let's turn this up.
So I've gotten into some controversy.
Oh, yes, you did,
This is
buddy.
not a video
Yes,
that I wanted to make. In fact, I've actually put off making this video for a few days because I was hoping that things would just kind of blow over.
Okay.
But it's just escalated, right? Like, I've been doxxed. It's sort of crossing some lines.
Doxing, that's not cool. Like, that was totally unnecessary. Like, yeah, people have their preferences of PlayStation 5 or Xbox Series X, and, people prefer one over the other, and, this gaming community have their Twitter arguments and do their little video podcasts and all that other stuff, but the doxing, like, that's unnecessary. Like, the gaming community has got to get better. Like, I'm being real right now. Like, it has to get better. Like, this, him being doxxed or just anyone getting doxxed in general, like, that is unnecessary. Like, that is uncalled for.
That I'm just not comfortable with, and it's all over a video game console. So if you're landing on this video and you're like, Austin, why so serious? What happened? I made a video this weekend on Saturday specifically talking about the brand new updated model of the PS5. The title was The New PS5 is Worse. And let's just say the internet has not been super pleased with some of the things I did and said in that video.
Oh yeah, people disagree with
okay,
you.
So,
in fact, you've been called a liar by some YouTuber out there, and this one, is the first. Not the first one, but this is one of them that I'm using as an example. King Thrash Gaming thinks that he has definitive proof that Austin Evans is a liar. And there's other people out there, in the gaming community that thinks the same thing, that Austin Evans is a liar. Nothing more, nothing less.
Let me run through the idea for what happened there, because it was fairly straightforward. So a couple months ago, Sony announced, or they didn't even announce, there was like a leaked regulatory filing or something. There was an updated version of the PS5, and the only real thing that looked significantly different was the weight. It was about 300 grams or a little over half a pound.
Okay, this is interesting information.
I saw it, so it was kind of vaguely
interesting. It's interesting.
Especially because they didn't really say what was different. And Sony has a little bit of a track record for sort of dumbing down their consoles and kind of cost reducing them over time, which is fair enough. But there was no sort of word on anything like that. Fast forward to a little over a week ago, and these things had actually started to hit the market. So they were starting to hit in like Japan and Australia. And so I was directly talking with someone in Japan who had gotten their hands on one of these units, paid a lot of money to have it shipped here so I could take a look.
Okay.
It's not like a PS5 Slim or anything like that, but I was kind of going under the assumption that if there was such a big weight difference, that there would be some significant internal change, right? I mean, a half a pound, that's a lot of something that is missing out of the PS5.
Okay.
So I bought it, got it into the studio, and immediately started shooting the video on what was different. So if you've seen that video, you know that I go through and test a bunch of stuff with it and blah, blah, blah. But the culmination really was when I actually cracked it open and saw that they have massively reduced the size of the heatsink. And so I posted the video, sharing my findings, sharing my opinions on it. And boy, I was not ready for just
how toxic the gaming community can get when you find something that is probably, something that is worse or not good about this piece of plastic. Then the fan base, some of the fanboys of that piece of plastic in particular have gotten upset, have gotten toxic, all those other things. So he was definitely not ready for the some of the people in the gaming community, you know, some of the Sony people, you know, and probably others too, to turn up on him and make the videos that they made on him. Like, he was not ready for that.
Upset, I think people are.
Yeah, people are upset.
Let's break it down. What I saw was that the new PS5 runs hotter. And with the thermal images that I was able to take, plus the fact that I tore open the PS5 and saw that Sony has significantly reduced the size of the heatsink, putting 2 and 2 together, I determined that it is a downgrade compared to the first model. Now, a lot of people have taken issue with that. Some people have said that, oh, maybe it's more like thermally efficient, for example. But my argument there would be that just doesn't square with the laws of physics. Now, if I had opened up the PS5 and it was a very different array of like the heatsink and the fins and the heat pipes and everything, if they had like extra air channels or a bigger fan or whatever the case is, and to be fair, the fan was slightly different, although it probably wasn't enough to make a massive difference. Certainly, I don't think enough to completely overhaul the amount of sort of cooling that they've removed with the actual heatsink, then sure. But that's not the case. The PS5, it just simply has a smaller heatsink. There's less aluminum, there's less copper, there's less material, there's 300 grams less. And the laws of physics pretty simply dictate that there's less material and less surface area to remove that heat off of the chip. Now, can I tell you with 1,000% certainty that the chip, which is really the most important thing on the inside, that the actual SoC is running hotter than the original model? No. Without being Sony, I cannot tell you exactly what that is. But using some, what I would consider to be common sense, that the cooling apparatus is far smaller, and therefore the temperatures I'm seeing that are coming out of the system are significantly higher, I feel pretty confident in the fact that the new PS5 simply does not run as cool as the original. My thought on why the new PS5 has been changed,
and he's been, pretty genuine so far.
So the PS5, I think, is significantly quieter than earlier PS4s, right? I think Sony's had issues in the past with consoles that were too loud, especially if you had like one of those early PS4 Pros. And my thought would be is that when they were developing the PS5, they maybe didn't know exactly how much power they had to run through the chip. They didn't know exactly what the whole cooling apparatus would be. They didn't know what kind of yields they were going to get from TSMC.
Still sounding genuine so far.
So my assumption is
he's sounding pretty genuine,
cooling beyond what they really needed, and then they shipped it because, oh, okay, it was fine. However, with the various chip shortages and the price of raw materials, and ultimately with a lot more data than they had when they made this decision 2 years ago or whatever, my thought would be that Sony's probably looked at the PS5 and go, you know what, we actually slightly over-engineered the cooling to hit our specs, whether it would be on the clock speed or the longevity or whatever, and so to save money, they have trimmed back on the material, which not only saves in the actual copper and aluminum they have to purchase, but also in like the shipping costs of a pallet of PS5s that each weigh, half a pound less. That adds up. Now, what's kind of unfortunate about this, in addition to all of the anger on the fanboy side of things, is the fact that scalpers have really piled onto this video, and now they're selling the first models of the PS5 for significantly more than they were before the video.
Okay.
That's stupid. Look, if you have the new and the old PS5 in front of me and asked me to pick one, I would pick the old one. You know what I would pay more for it? $5. Like, it is a small difference. It's a difference, and it's a difference that I was happy to highlight, but it is nowhere near the thing that it has been sort of made out to be. When the video first went live, there were a few people who were like, oh, I don't know, blah, 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 whatever. But over the last few days, I mean, my Twitter has been absolutely unusable. People like, fuck you, Microsoft paid you, or like, oh, you're wrong. The amount of videos people have made, and look, I'm not gonna hate on you for jumping on a trend and making this stuff, but the amount of like,
there's probably gonna be people out there that still think that Austin Evans is a liar, and probably going to make a video, doing a reaction of this video, which is something that I'm doing right now, reacting to this video. Now, as far as the lying part so far, him being a liar, so far he sounds pretty genuine to me, but there's people out there that's going to do a reaction video and still think that he's pretty much a liar. None more, nothing less. And yeah, that's pretty much it.
Austin Evans is a liar. The PS5 is no different. Or, I think that
look, Dreamcast guy, look. Even Dreamcast guy, thinks that Austin Evans is a liar. Like, there were a lot of people out there in this gaming community like think that he's a liar, man. Like, no more, nothing less.
God, that's completely useless and all this kind of stuff. But what's kind of happened is that a lot of the things I said in that initial video, they were written up on like lots of articles and websites and all over like Reddit and stuff. And then people have then quoted that and then made videos on like intercutting me talking about the PlayStation and the Xbox and in ways that just, it's gotten to a ridiculous sort of degree really quickly. I've been making videos for 12 years on tech. I've done a lot of videos on controversial subjects. But the level of just toxicity that I've seen with this conversation is orders of...
Oh yeah, buddy. This gaming community, Austin, can get very toxic, man. Nothing more, nothing less. And you probably weren't prepared. Like, things go down in this console war, especially in this side of the community. Like, things will go down. Oh yeah, buddy. Yeah.
Of magnitude higher than anything I've ever seen. Look, there's a lot of reasons I think behind that. But ultimately, it's hard because
he's trying
if
to
you
think
look
of
at someone
something.
like Digital Foundry, who I have a ton of respect for, and
a lot of people saying like Digital Foundry was popping shots at Austin Evans. Well, in fact, in this tweet right here, I've been looking to source a CFI-111 model, PlayStation 5, but Austin, not Duncan, beat me to the punch. His video is excellent and well worth watching. Let me read this again. His video is excellent, meaning this video right here, and well worth watching. I've contacted Sony to ask for a detailed explanation about the engineering decisions made here. So whoever made that Digital Foundry Twitter account liked Austin's video, the last one, which was this one right here, as you can see right now. Now let's get back to watching this video.
They're one of the only people who've actually, instead of just commenting on this thing, actually they've got one of these PS5s, right? They went out and bought one of the new PS5s. And in their testing, I don't believe they've done the thermal testing. They determined, yeah, it's pulling about the same power as the original PS5 and that you're getting about the same performance, which is well worth a read. People keep sending it to me as if it's like the exposed Austin Evans is wrong article. I 100% agree with every single word in that article, right? Okay. At no point have I said that the PS5 is losing performance or anything like that.
Hold up, man. Hold up now. Hold up. Now I'm starting to question you, Austin. Now I'm starting to question you. Let's play this part right here.
Might not seem exciting, but that is actually enough to cause some difference in either your performance or in just the longevity of the console.
Okay, let's play that again. Let's play that a little bit.
Might not seem exciting, but that is actually enough to cause
some difference in either your performance.
Some difference in either your performance or in just the
longevity of the console. So you did say something. You did mention the word performance. You did, Austin. You did. You did mention performance. You did. And at this point right now, I'm kind of questioning you, man. I'm kind of am.
All I have said is that based on my own testing, it seems to be running hotter, which would logically make sense with a smaller heatsink, and therefore you could have some issues down the line. If you're in a really thermally constrained environment, like it's got like you're in a TV cabinet or something, your PS5 may run hotter, it may have less longevity, but that's all I've said. However, the discourse has quickly turned into, I hate the PS5, and I'm this clickbait YouTuber who doesn't know what he's talking about, is just trying to get views.
People, you gotta make enticing thumbnails to attract, other viewers that are not subscribed to your channel to watch your video. So, I can see why he, pretty much made that thumbnail to attract, all the other people in all the other gaming communities or whatever community they came from to watch his video, because on YouTube, you're gonna definitely need people to click on your video. You're gonna definitely need that.
Thumbnails and titles are incredibly important.
Yes, they are, man.
YouTube.
They are important.
And some people have taken issue with what the title and thumbnail I used for the PS5 video. Fair enough. Fair criticism. What I would say to that is, at least for the title, I do think the PS5 is worse. Is there a more accurate version of that title, which I think the new PS5 is very slightly worse because I opened it up? Yeah, sure, maybe that's a slightly more accurate title. But ultimately, I think the message of my thoughts on the PS5 were accurately portrayed by that title. Hasn't been changed, won't be changed. On the thumbnail, which I think is probably where people got a little bit more salty. So this is the thumbnail of my PS5 video.
That's the thumbnail.
And yes, it has been photoshopped. That's not exactly what the
thumbnail?
PS5 looks like. But here's the thing, right? The way that the YouTube algorithm works is that if a video does not get a click, it is buried, right? It is very simple. If you don't get the click on the video, YouTube will not push it out. It will not get impressions. It will not get views. You're wasting your time, right? Now, if I had made a PS5 on fire, which sure, yeah, we've done some silly thumbnails in the past, absolutely. But this to me, I guess at least, and maybe I'm wrong, and maybe this is where your opinion differs, I don't think this is a crazy clickbait thumbnail. In fact, actually, the original version of this thumbnail before it went live was actually of the proper two PS5 side by side.
Okay, so that's the original
problem is
thumbnail. Let's go back just a little bit.
Crazy clickbait thumbnail. In fact, actually, the original version of this thumbnail before it went live was actually of the
Okay, so this is the original thumbnail right here.
Proper two PS5 side by side. The problem is that most people look at a thumbnail for about a half a second. You're scrolling through. If I show you this thumbnail,
I look at the title also
were you able to see it?
as well.
Were you able to kind of tell the difference? No, probably not. Because while yes, when you look at it in person, when you're actually watching the video, the difference in the heat sinks is pretty noticeable. But on a tiny little thumbnail that flies across the screen, it's simply not something that you'll see. The other thing that has been everywhere is how I'm a paid Microsoft shill and I hate Sony.
Okay, address that, Austin. Address that.
I absolutely got my hands on an Xbox Series X early. Microsoft provided an opportunity for me to take a look at the Series X. Sony did not offer that same opportunity, which means that while yes, I made a lot of Series X videos on like talking about it in the news, and when I got my hands on review units, all that kind of stuff throughout last year, all of these Sony PS5.
There were a lot of YouTubers out there that have gotten, Series X's and Series S's, but I don't know if that many YouTubers got like PS5s like that. Like, I don't know. But there's people out there who don't mess with Sony or mess with the PlayStation, and they're YouTube influencers for the gaming community or in the gaming entertainment sphere, whatever you call it, right? And some people have said, oh, because I don't get this product for free, I don't mess with Sony, but Microsoft gives me free products and all that other stuff, so I'm going to be, messing with them, be on their side or whatever because for that reason. Like, there's people out there that are like that.
5 videos I did last year were entirely
I'm not gonna name names, but they know who they are.
Consoles trying to get my hands on.
They know who they are.
Now, you can say that, Microsoft giving me a review unit makes me biased, and that's fair criticism if you think that's the way it works. I can tell you, though, that if I would have had review units of the PS5, I would have made twice as many videos because the numbers don't lie. The PS5 is a far more popular console than the Xbox.
Oh, it is a far more popular console than the Xbox. Like, a lot of kids out there want that PlayStation 5. Like, a lot of your casual gamers out there, they want that PlayStation 5, man. But no one wants an Xbox Series S or X. No one wants an Xbox. Like, there's probably a couple of people out there in the gaming community that knows a lot about gaming and tech that wants an Xbox, a Series X or Series S. But for the most part, a lot of people just want that PlayStation 5. And that is just that. Like, people just want that PlayStation 5. None more, none less.
And therefore, as someone who makes videos that are supposed to be popular, I want to make the thing that is going to perform the best. Let me be crystal clear. If a video has a paid sponsorship, I disclose it. Not only because that's the right thing to do, it's also the thing that I have to do legally, right? So when I've been sponsored by Microsoft or Sony or any number of our other sponsors that keep the lights on and keep the channel running and stuff,
get the
I will
bills
say
paid
straight up,
and all that
this
other
video is
stuff.
sponsored by blank, right? So look, Believe
Pay
me or
that
not
house
believe me, it's up to
mortgage.
you. But Microsoft had nothing to do with this PS5 video. And in fact, I would go
Okay.
even farther and like, look, if you think that I'm some biased Microsoft shill, do you know what I did the first second I got my hands
Okay,
on a
tell us,
Series X,
Austin.
an
Tell
actual fully
us.
functional unit?
Tell us.
I didn't follow the the embargo of like talking about games and stuff. I tried to overheat the thing. Do you think Microsoft was happy when I did a prototype Xbox Series X in months ahead of time and I make a video trying to overheat it? No,
okay.
they weren't happy about that. But I don't care, right? As long as I'm not breaking some rule or anything like that, I want to make the videos that are most interesting
So he
and
kind of
relevant
did the same
to you,
thing with the
right?
Series
I
X.
want to find these things out. I find it super fascinating. You know what that Series X video was all about? It was
I don't know if he did the same thing, with the Series S, make it overheat. Like, I don't know, like, could you guys let me know in the comment section, like, did he do a video on whether or not he tried to overheat the Series S? Like, someone in the comment section, let me know.
Similar concept to what I did with this PS5. I was putting it in boxes. I was trying to cut off the airflow. I was trying to see exactly how far you could push the Series X to see if it was actually engineered correctly versus something like, I don't know, some of the older systems that had overheating issues or whatever the case is. In fact, the Series X video I did last year has been intercut on Twitter with my PS5 video to make it seem like I'm like making the Series X look good and the PS5 look bad. Look, you can absolutely hold me to this. If Microsoft comes out with a follow-up Xbox Series X or Series S that is downgraded, is less powerful in the cooling or whatever, I will 1000% make a video on it and call them out the exact same way that I've called out Sony, right? If that is the case, if they do that, I will be happy to dive into it to find out exactly, to the best of my ability, what's going on, and I will make a video all about it. You have my word on that. What's happened at this point is that, well, Microsoft hasn't changed it at all. They're shipping the exact same console, which, good or bad, doesn't really matter. It's the exact same console for thermal performance. That's not what I've been talking about with this PS5 thing. I'm purely talking about the old PS5 versus the new PS5. They're charging you the exact same amount for, and yet has a inferior cooling solution. Look, if you think I'm wrong, that's your opinion. And
of course, I can disagree with your opinion.
Make memes,
of course.
You want to go make videos on why Austin Evans is a liar. Go for it, right? Cash in on the controversy. It's not like I've never done a video on something controversial. But things are... This is a PS5, right?
Yeah.
The fact...
At the end of the day, this is just video games, Yeah, it's cool to, have your Twitter, arguments. It's cool to have a podcast, but doxing, like... That's uncalled for, man. Like, I'm being for real. Like, that is uncalled for.
The doxing and some of the more extreme elements of this, I think, are way out of proportion, right? I get it. I am making content. I am making things that you may not agree with.
Mm-hmm.
I stand behind the video I made. I stand behind my opinion.
Okay, I understand that.
Agree with or disagree with. It's fine.
I understand.
But the level of toxicity in the community, I think, is it's a lot, right? Now,
it can be a lot, Austin.
Not to name
it can
names,
be a lot.
and it's not me. But people I know in the sort of this space have gotten like death threats and just like ridiculous stuff, which is there's no excuse for that, right? It's ultimately we're talking about a PS5, right? I'm talking about a PS5 which is a couple degrees warmer.
You're talking about a gaming piece of plastic. And the fact that people went that far to dox you, like, that is pretty sad. That is pretty sad.
That has a slightly smaller heatsink. It's not worth taking things to such a ridiculous degree. That's why I'm making this video. That's why I'd be very happy if this is the last time I have to talk about this. But it's something that I wanted to say. It's something I wanted to get out there because it's a lot. So that's it. Thank you for watching, especially if you made it this far. And your regularly scheduled programming will resume shortly.
I'm ready to see that regularly scheduled tech programming. I'm ready for that. I am.
But, yeah.
So, this video was about 90 to 98% genuine. But the only part that I'm questioning is if I could find it, this part right here at 7:43.
PS5 is losing performance or anything like that.
Okay, so let's play this thing right here. this video. Okay, let's play 412.
Might not seem exciting, but that is actually enough to cause some
difference in either your performance or the
difference
longevity
in either your
of your
performance
console,
or in just the longevity of the console if it's sitting there. Because
so this part right here, like from 743 to 745, like that's the only part that I'm questioning. But everything else seems genuine. But the video at this point, I'm pretty much done reacting to it. What do you guys think? Do you guys think that Austin Evans is being genuine? Do you guys think that Austin Evans is still a liar? Or you guys think that it's in the middle, like he's genuine on some things but lying on other stuff? Like, I want to know your guys' thoughts in the comment section below of this video. I want to know. Thank you guys for watching this reaction video. If you have watched the whole thing, thank you guys for supporting me. And yeah, hope you guys have a good day. So now that you have made it to the end of the video, I want you guys to hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, hit that notification bell, and when you hit that notification bell, you gotta hit all notifications, so that way you can be notified for future Lavon Cason tech videos, future Lavon Cason gaming videos, future Lavon Cason live streams, and also other videos that I do, such as, reaction videos and things of that nature. Bye.